You are not a man at 12. That is a lie. Giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Kodash. And this is a comment sent in on the video I did dealing with Sarnetta and Daniela. And this was put up by Bishop Melchizedek, which is aka Ayathan. Shalom, forgive me, a demon just called me a demon. Anyway, well, like I said, in this individual bishop Melchizedek is IUC member Ayathan, which believes that the mark of the beast is the microchip, but refuses to teach it. You know, that's taking your talent and putting it in a napkin, or burying your talent, and that's what he's doing. You know, the scriptures speak about adding to the word and taking away from the word. So he made a statement. He said, "You are not a man at 12, ahch." That is a lie. And you are a man at 12. Now, in order for you to be a part of the army of Israel, you had to be 20. But you become a man at the age of 12. You're under the age of accountability. Meaning before that, you're under your parents' watch. When you turn 12, you are no longer under your parents' watch. And the proof of that is when you go to Luke 2, you can start the 40th verse and read down a couple of verses. It speaks about how our Lord got lost, let's say, and his parents were worried about him and finally found him. And he told his mother, "Don't you know that I must be about my father's business?" Because he was no longer under his father and mother, because he was under the covenant. Even the so-called Jews, they use it. They do a thing called, which we do too, bar mitzvah, which means son of the covenant. And when are you bar mitzvah? You are bar mitzvah at the age of 12, and that's when you become a man. See, that's why these guys got emotional about a 12-year-old girl. A 12-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl can marry a man of any particular age. You know, when you go back to the ancient world, you had men, in the case of Joseph and Mary, it doesn't give you the age of Joseph and Mary, but Joseph had to be much older than Mary. You know, some so-called biblical scholars would say that she was 14 years old, 13 or whatever, some say 12, and Joseph had to be as old as he could have been. I wouldn't be surprised if he was in his 40s or his 30s. And that was kind of the norm. You got a man of a certain age got with a woman who was untouched. And that was usually around the age of 12, 13 years old. When you read the account of King David at his deathbed, when he was sick, what did they do? They took a young woman, and I believe she was I got to go back to the account. She was of the tribe of Issachar. They didn't tell you the age of the woman, but she had to be maybe 12 years old. And that's when there's a thing called puberty. What makes a child a man? When does a child become a man or transition into a man? At about the age of 11 12, 11 and a half, 12. I use myself as an example. When I was like 11, my voice started to change, and I asked my mother, why is my voice starting to get a little deeper? And she said, and she explained to me that was you're transitioning, you're going through puberty. And the same thing goes with a girl that's 10, 11 years old. They'll start developing breasts, they'll start developing a shape, and their plumbing inside is able to work, meaning they're able to bear children. They're able to get pregnant at the age of 11, 12, 13. They're able to get pregnant. And I'll give you another example. My two sisters, when they were 12 years old, they were out there. They were out there with the boys. They were doing what they did. As a matter of fact, when both of my sisters had their first children, they were 14 years old. So they were doing things when they had to be 13. When you check your if you got people from down south or anywhere in the islands, your grandmother might have had her first child when she was like 13 years old, 14 years old. So they were sexually active at 13 years old, maybe 12 years old. When I was 11 and 12 years old, when the little boys and the girls got together, we used to play spin the bottle. If I spent the bottle and it pointed to a boy, I spin the bottle again until it pointed to a girl, and then you would kiss the girl, and you would do that behind your parents' backs. That's when we were 11 years old, 10, 11 years old. So we knew at that age. See, some of you motherfuckers, you have gone to school in that short yellow bus. That's why you get all emotional. All right. But anyway, I said I was going to make a few words. I said I was going to speak a few words on this subject. Subject being this comment: you are not a man at 12. That is a lie. Well, it's a lie for you to make this statement. You become a man at the age of 12. You are part of the army as a man in Israel at the age of 20. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. With that, I'm going to say shalom. I'm going to put this up raw.